Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we take a look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I'm Joe, an anime sicko.
Joe, before we get any further, I have to plug something.
Oh, okay.
Did you know about this? So, you remember, like, a while ago, this person who... by the name of Sarah, who we were on her Yu-Gi-Oh podcast once. Remember this? She was like, "Hey, you guys should audition for something that we're putting together."
Yes, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Did you ever get around to auditioning for that, or did you have like a baby?
I have my tape here. I just never got it in the mail.
Yeah, I sent mine in, and I'm like one of the main three characters. Like, I'm in it. This is a show that's I'm gonna do like a real. I'm gonna like read the actual copy when the Kickstarter is happening. But I'm just letting you know there's a show called The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine. You can go to @LydiaDisappears on Twitter. It's a fun little show. It's kind of spooky, and it's an audio drama. The first episode is like done, and you can listen to it now for free. There's gonna be a Kickstarter on June 3rd, where if it goes well, they're gonna make a whole season, and they're gonna fucking pay me to be in it. Which like that's cool. So you can do that. It's kind of spooky. You'll check it out, maybe, listener. Why not? Anyway, that's all. That's my pitch. I'll do the real pitch once like I get told to. I just wanted to say something about it.
You'll be a paid cast member for a seasonally reoccurring show. It's better than Super Train. They only got the one.
Yeah.
Although I guess they really wrapped it up. It got to the other side of the country. Well, like, what else is there to do?
Super Train is...
People know what Super Train is.
I thought you were talking about Super Tramp.
No, that fucking album cover with the waitress. Yes.
People tell me that album's good. I'm sorry. I'm never going to listen to it because that waitress got bad vibes.
Yeah. No, we are talking one of the stupid projects. In my mind, I haven't told Tom this, but we have things that I call momentum projects, which are just like things that don't really have like a real path to like ever manifesting in a meaningful way, but they are a thing to kick back and forth to just keep it going, you know, keep some momentum going.
Because maybe one of these kicks is going to be the one that goes in the goal.
Yeah, and the fucking stupid thing I wanted to do was I was like, Tom, do you know about the show Super Train? And he was like, not really. And he looked it up. He's like, well, this sucks. And I was like, like it would
if you don't know, I'm going to say it in my own words. This was a show from like the 70s or 80s. When they didn't really understand that TV shows could be good, and they're just like, whatever network it was, let's say NBC. I'm picking it at random. I really hope I'm right. I have like a 1 in 3 chance. NBC was like, you know what I think we should do is we should spend all the money we have on one show. And what's the show's going to be about? It's going to be about a big train that goes back and forth. That's it.
There are so many hitmen. I haven't watched it, but I would just watch, like, what is the issue here every episode? Like, what's the problem? And it's a lot of hitmen kidnapping people, whatever. But the point is, I wanted to do, there's like 15 episodes, and then I wanted, like, the season ends, and then it's like, oh shit, we left someone in Denver, and there's Super Train only has one rule, which is you never leave anybody in Denver, and then they just throw it in reverse, and it was just stupid. Like, what is some dumb shit you can happen in that context?
You know what? I remember when you said Super Train, I'm like, what the fuck? But I remember I filled out a spreadsheet with like ideas and characters.
Yeah,
shit,
like,
this is pretty funny. We should do this.
I think it has the juice. Reading about Super Train was amazing because it was very clear to me that like the people in charge of the show, and this is a good call, I think, but they were like train people, and then like people like no one's watching this because there's no focus on like the people. Like it's too train based.
Yeah.
And they were like, interesting. We will change nothing.
Like, we spent all the money we had making a real train that moves around so that we can have establishing shots of a train. And everyone's like, no, like, literally, who fucking cares about establishing shots? And they're like, oh no. You know what was really funny is that because, obviously we're not going to watch. I don't even know if you can watch it. Even if it was like on the front page of YouTube for free, we wouldn't watch it because are you kidding? But the way that we learned about it at all is there's some like fucking tripod.com GeoCities ass fan site that has all the super train facts, and it's all out of order. Like, it's not in order of episodes, so it's just like list of characters like Joe the Hitman, Carl the Hitman, Billy the Hitman. He's trying to get the Shah. And it's just like was there just like one episode where that was oops all hitmen, or was it like Joe says where it's like every week there's a hitman? It's like you open up the panel that's on like the air grate and like a bunch of hitmen scurry out, and it's like, fuck, you got a hitman, you got to throw in the gas bomb. Get the hitman.
I'm looking at this spreadsheet. I pulled it up. Dr. Dan Lewis, the train's doctor, we said he thinks hitmen are really cool, is like a historian of hitmen.
But he works for the train. He can't be pro hitman. Like, that's not a.
He's also a doctor. He can't hurt people.
That's true. And if the hitman does his grim work, instead of being able to admire it the way he wants, he's gonna have to undo it. Wait, actually, this is so fucking good.
Rose Casey, the nurse, disappears from the series. The stupid modifier we put on it is hates the train. Thought she was only going to do medical stuff when it was standing still.
Sorry. Okay. Sometimes I do, like, I boost the laugh a little, because I'm on, because it's like we're performing. That fucking hit me, like, right in the chest. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. We've all the hitmen kind of planned out. Hitman Dick Van Dyke, always tripping over ottomans. Hitman B, way too self-aware. C, thinks the train is a sex train for swingers. Kidnapper A, didn't get enough sleep. Kidnapper B, podcaster. Kidnapper C, wasp. I assume like white Anglo, not a big bug.
Indeed. Listen, I suppose it's
it could
quite
be
a good train. I see they allow Italians on this train. It's not quite as good as the train as I would have had it done. That like he'd be that guy.
The mob boss.
in Nantucket.
The mob boss's main thing is that he thinks the trains are not as good as the trains in Europe. So he's like right.
Yeah. Oh, I went home to Italy to Napolitano, and I tell you the trains there. So the super trains got nothing on the Napolitano trains. Hey, Paulie, commendatory. This is fucking. You see, folks, this is what Anime Sickos is all about. We're doing an episode with no plan. And this is good for two reasons. One, it's like we're stretching, out like what we're capable of. Like we're going without a net. And also, we didn't fucking remember to make a plan, but we need an episode anyway.
Yeah, and we also have a lot of complaining built up, which is cool. That's just like free content. Saw a tweet that did numbers, which was being funny while complaining is such a good skill, or such a crucial skill. And yes, for sure, we've been saying that.
Are you sure that wasn't like your tweet?
No,
That's like
it
we
wasn't.
had an entire episode that was just
there was
that.
no Hank Hill. Okay, it wasn't Hank Hill saying it. But it's true. This is more proof that everyone is stealing from our brains and getting rich, except for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, I recall you told me that you encountered a high-level rare encounter that had a red skull floating above it. Tell me more.
For our first trip with the boy, he is 6 months now, and also Winnie's birthday, we went to...
He's so big.
He is big. He is... I don't know else how to put this. Very cute. I love that guy. I love to put... I get baby clothes now. You're just like, oh yeah, everything should have fucking dinosaurs. That's cute. Yes, give me more. But we went to Starved Rock in the cabins over there. There's a collection of cabins that Tom and I have both stayed at.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, they're nice. It's not. It's by no means like roughing it. It's a big living room that just happens to be made of wood on the outside, but you're in like the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you're near the state park, which is like one of the few things in Illinois that is actually like interesting to look at.
It's not flat.
Yeah. There's like up and down parts in the state park. It's wild, but like yeah, it's like a little living room. It's got a bathroom. It's got a kitchen that works. Like these cabins are pretty nice.
And ours had a jacuzzi tub. We were like unpacking, and I was like walking in there, looked in the jacuzzi jet, and I was like, "Oh, that's gross." There's like a lock of hair stuck in there. That's fucking nasty. And then I go back to unpacking when he's like, "Did you see all that hair sticking out of that, like the jet?" And I was like, "Yes, it's very gross." But wait a minute. Why do I sense so much nen coming off this hair?
What is this killing intent?
Yeah.
Why is it purple? Homie, be purple in here. I don't get it.
And then I realized what I was looking at, which is the biggest fucking spider I've ever seen in my life. I live here in Illinois. I know there are biggish spiders, but this was not part of the agreement. I am not bug phobic or spider phobic, really, and I like them the neutral amount. This absolutely triggered like my fight or flight. So we left it alone for the first night because we're like, maybe it's dead. That's why it's not moving. Well, in the morning, it was in a very different place, still in the tub, but it had moved. So that's when I had to be like a Second Amendment guy and be like, I have to kill to protect my family now.
I gotta say, Joe, that what you've described is something that, in my mind, could never have been done, which is going to bed with the spider situation still with a question mark on the end. Like, I'm sorry. I would be like, well, either I'm not sleeping or we're leaving. Like, if we're sleeping, it's not here.
Well, Winnie wasn't as freaked. And it was her birthday, so I didn't want to fuck it up too bad.
It makes sense. I'm with you. That's a good reason.
So anyway, it came time to end this sucker, and I have never squished a spider that has had more than 1 HP.
Bugs tend to have 1 HP.
This did not. I smushed it and twisted, and when I lifted the smushing and twisting thing up, it is like in Monster Hunter where it's like fucked up and you can capture it now, and it was like coming at me, and a chunk of it was missing. Like there was just a fucking part of it that was gone, and also blood. I don't know if I would call it gore, but there was too much stuff coming out. It did not feel like I was killing a spider. It felt like mice level, if I'm honest.
Jesus Christ.
That's it was no good. And I took pictures of it, and I haven't sent it to you yet, because in order to do that I have to see him again.
Yeah. No, you need to decompress. You need to get past your trauma. Holy shit. I especially like that you told me like that you and Winnie were like, well, maybe it's a brown recluse. Maybe it's like dangerous.
God, that was so funny. It's like, I know just from zoo books probably that there's only 2 poisonous types of spiders in Illinois. There are black widows and there are brown recluses. And I was like, I don't really know what a brown recluse looks like. So we're like, oh my God, maybe that's what it is. We're fucked. And we looked it up, and it was like a brown recluse is 1 inch long, and we're like, okay, so that's good because that thing is 4 feet long. So we're good there.
Oh my God, fuck that, Joe. That's I hope that at least the rest of your Starved Rock experience was lovely, because it's fun to go there.
Oh yeah, it was. It's a very good place to bring a kid. We didn't actually go to Starved Rock proper. We went to Ottawa just because they have like a river walk and there was a kite festival. It's just very stroller friendly type deals.
Yeah.
It was a really good time. I was really thinking, we were really hoping he was going to start crawling when he was on his he was so close. He still is so close. He moves forward, but he's not getting his legs under himself, and he's not like even. He moves like the test subject got out of the lab and it injured a scientist, and he's dragging himself to the computer. That's how he moves.
Yes. Okay. Well, that means that it's any day now, I think. And this actually is, this segues perfectly into something I want to complain about, which is, you know, I would have preferred it if by the time Ivan got to injured scientist pulling himself to the console to send a fucking message to Samus to get back here. I would hope that by that time I would have seen Ivan, I'm going to say 20 times. He would have, in his little baby brain, already have made an ironclad connection that this guy is my buddy. This is Uncle Tommy. He's my homie. He's basically family. Instead, I've seen him like 2 times.
It's been a little more, but here's the thing. He's on that grind now. Like no, I'm serious. Like he wakes up at 6 or so, and I feed him immediately, and then we hang out a little bit before when he needs to leave to work, and I throw him in there. I mean, like in a car seat, not like not as yeah. Like I throw him like a spiral. No, he goes to daycare and gets picked up by Winnie on the way back, or by me on foot by stroller if she's held back. So he's back home between 5:36. He ends up going to bed around like 7:45. Like, his life is so locked in, it's nuts.
Okay, that's a pretty good excuse on weekdays.
On weekdays, yes.
You keep when we're gonna move to our current place, our condo that we live in now. You were like, "Oh my god, this is so exciting because it's much closer to my house. It's gonna be so much easier to come hang. It's gonna be It's gonna be more pleasant to hang in because the condo is objectively better than our apartment." Yes. And this motherfucker, he ain't come, and.
Do I have to get a second car? This sucks. Oh man.
Like, you told me that, and it makes sense, and I hate that it makes sense. Like I wanted to be like, no fucker, no ass, get rid of your one car, but then I'm just like, wait, I actually see the logic, and I hate.
But my one car is effectively no car because
yes, exactly, yes,
because Winnie's using it to go to work. And that one's paid off. It's done. Like it's. You can crash shit into it. It doesn't count anymore. Like, it's awesome.
Oh god, 2 cars is so bullshit. You know what I hate is cars. I saw like some footage of like old Chicago lately, and like the narrator like said streetcar, and I saw the streetcar going by, and I like started crying. Like I just like welled up, and I couldn't even control it.
I think this is why I've been like hyper fixating on the Metro Electric, dude. Because are you familiar at all?
No, tell me.
It's the only part of the Metro system that is not owned by the freight line. Like, it's Metro's own shit, and it is fully electrified. So it is like, you know, streetcar-esque. You know how they had the wires, but it's also like huge, clunky commuter cars, and it's like an abomination. But it's really cool because it's like a streetcar that they would like make after the world ends. Mm-hmm. It's very nice, and also it has very, 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 very frequent service. It's well loved.
Wait, where the hell is this? This isn't fantasy. This is real. Where is this?
Yeah.
What is this line?
Why
don't I own it?
The Metro Electric. Why don't you own it? The Metro Electric is at the Millennium Station, which is also that South Shore line, which is like the little Indiana Railroad that goes to the dunes.
I don't want to go there.
Yeah, so you want to get on the one that goes to Blue Island, and then you're going to get a gyro.
Okay. Joe, I got to tell you about... So I have a lot of shit to complain about. I got to tell you about this one thing, though. So I'm right by the 606 trail. Now, if you're not from Chicago, you don't know what that is.
Those are numbers.
It's a number. There is this unused, old-ass raised train tracks that go east to west on the border between Logan Square and Humboldt Park. And for years, they stood disused. And a couple of years ago, the Park District decided to turn these raised train tracks into a park, a big, long trail with, they got a landscape architect to design the fucking plants and shit on the sides. And would you believe it? It's like a huge hit. It's like, it's truly a surreal thing to see because
it's a big public amenity that can't be touched by cars because it is in fact above it.
And it's a public amenity that happened, you know, like here, the list of things that are impossible. 1, someone thought we should make a good thing. 2, they had anyone in the city government agree. 3, the agreement of the people in city government actually mattered and it happened. And 4, like, it's here now. Like, that shouldn't be, and yet it is.
Obviously, this is a simplification, but as I get older, I now realize that there are people who are just like, we should turn that train into a bike thing. We should turn that train into a bike thing. And, like, they will never back off. Mm-hmm. And they make the world go around.
Yeah. I have seen some people say, like, well, it would be better if it was actually still trains. And I can understand that.
What? Yeah, everything would be better if it was not old and fucked up. Like, what does that mean?
They were like, they should have renovated the trains and had actual train service going on instead of making it a path. Here's the thing, though. If that was a train line, we couldn't record because it'd be too loud. So, checkmate, motherfuckers. Anime Sickos podcast forever. So, here's the thing that I have to complain about, though. Because of the 606, there's a lot of people using it. It's very popular. This is actually good. That's not the thing I'm complaining about. I use it. It's popular. It's great. I love it. Run on it. It's fun. There's a group of skateboarders who skateboard near the entrance that I use to get on it.
Oh, you're scared, right?
Well, you know, Joe, I would be if these were the type of skateboarders you're thinking of, which is to say teens. This is a strange breed of motherfuckers that are adult skateboarders. Now, you know, you might be thinking they must be goths. Still not. Adult, no goth skateboarders. And here's the thing that really upsets me. And this is a subset of something that just upsets me about the 606 in general, because it sort of self-selects for fit people, because it's an outdoor trail. A lot of guys running on it will be, like, absolutely shredded to shit and, like, make me feel self-conscious, which I hate that. But the ultimate example is one of these adult skateboarders is a guy who, when our homie Kevin, he was hanging out with us lately, he saw this guy, and he's like, this motherfucker is 2 times pimpy, 3 times bape, like in real life. Do you know about 2 times pimpy, 3 times bape?
Just the name alone is really getting me. Gimme.
So, there is a photo that has become a meme that was essentially a dog breeder announcing new dogs dropped.
Okay, yes, and these are the. Okay, sorry, you jogged my third eye. Yes, he is doing the Akub thing with bulldogs.
Yes,
and one of them was a clone of another one.
No, not a clone, dude. 2 times Pimpy, 3 times Bape. And Pimpy and Bape were famous bulldogs for being especially deformed. And this new dog has Pimpy in his family tree twice and Bape 3 times in his family tree. Now you might be thinking, how the fuck does someone have the same person 3 times in their family tree? Because of inbreeding, bitch. This is a mutant dog. Anyway, these dogs are like sentient muscles.
They yearn for death.
They've never been allowed to breathe. They didn't put lungs in. Anyway, this guy is 2 times Pimpy. I hate looking at him. His muscles are too prominent. And they also, this is another thing I'm going to complain about. They practice their skateboarding. When I say practice, I mean they put their little grind bar down. They go up to it. They try to do a kickflip onto it and fucking don't do it.
How old are these adult skateboarders?
At least my age.
So you're worried you're going to join them. So that's the real fear. You're in a cave to peer pressure. You're trying to go for a walk, and you're going to be like, well, I did want to be rad, I guess, someday. I do like that, like, they respect gamers so little that they give them the twinkle, twinkle, little star of everything. Okay. That's fun. Okay.
I'm not. I now support this.
Yeah.
I'm for this now.
Yeah.
Anyway, they practice their skateboarding moves, by which I mean they attempt to do them and don't even come close, which is the story of every skateboarding move I have ever seen attempted in real life.
I saw someone do an actual fucking kickflip, and I almost dropped all my shit. Like, I was blown away because I am so used to it never happening. My brain has seen 1,000 people not quite do it.
What I wonder is, like, so is what they're doing practicing, or is that it? Because, like, it's always like they're like, they do a deep sigh, they get on their skateboard, they go a little bit, they jump, and then they, like, kick the skateboard 5 feet away by accident in midair, and they land awkwardly. And then they do a deep sigh and, like, reset and do it again. Is that it? Like, are they practicing for something, or is that it?
I don't know. The aspect of skateboarding that, like, the coordination aspect, not that I have, but that is whatever. The thing I just cannot accept, like, even if I went into a special skateboarding boot camp, a Weapon X, to turn 36-year-old guys into skateboarders, just the idea that you just fucking will eat shit in very public ways is not okay with me. I just can't. Yeah. I that's a deal breaker. Yeah, like, every time you see someone get into a half pipe, you're like, well, either way, this is going to be a show.
See, this is why I gotta to avoid this siren call of being an adult skateboarder.
Just
I gotta
use
focus
a different
on the
entrance. Where's the closest next one?
It is the closest. It's farther away. Anyway, no. Here's the other thing. They practice in front of Dayglow Coffee, which is a coffee shop. Shut the fuck up. A coffee shop that is. We're moving here and we're like, what's around? We were shocked to see that it's, like, considered by many people to be, like, the best coffee in Chicago. I'm like, oh shit, that's good. The thing about Dayglow Coffee is that it's inside of the Kimball Arts Center, which you might think, well, that sounds great. Arts Center? Amazing. Well, the Kimball Arts Center is just sort of a big square building that is very awkward and not inviting.
It's just hostile sort of to hanging out.
Yes, and it's just like, it's this big weird blank building that they cut awkward chunks out of that you can rent, and Dayglow rented one of them. And Dayglow has decided to make their space, I do not think you could make a more hostile space to be in than that. The entire cube of space is like this weird pastel melon color that just sort of like hurts your eyes to see, and it's everywhere. And in this space, there is one thing, and it is a large Tetris piece. It is the straight Tetris piece made out of concrete, and that is the only thing there. Like, that's where the coffee machines are. That's where the register is. And their menu is... Joe, it's so confusing. It's 2 pages long, and all they serve is coffee. And I was looking for just, like... I wanted to... Because you can't just order a coffee there, because you're going to be like, what do you mean? Like, you have to use the right terminology.
No. This is what I have found a sort of workaround for these situations. When they kind of push it back at you, like, we want specifics, just start crying. just fucking bawl.
Pretty good. I got to remember that. So yeah. Eventually, my wife noticed that the word that we want to say is filter coffee. That is the terminology that they expect for a cup of coffee, is give us some filter coffee. And then they said, which one? Which is just like, just kill me. Like, just gun, man. Like, come on. Like, why? What are we doing here? It was awful. And here's the thing that really I complain about, is that all this shit happened. It's so hostile to be in. There's like the only seating in the shop are these 2 awful stools that have like abstract art as the thing. Instead of us having normal, stool poles that hold the stool up, it has like an abstract art sculpture made out of really skinny metal. So it looks like if you sit on it, it's going to fold up like a fucking laundry hamper that college students have. The thing that really fucking makes me upset, so I got the coffee. Cost a fucking lot. And it was some of the best coffee I ever had. Like, it's really good. Like, it's really good coffee. I'm going to go back.
I'm oversimplifying it, but it just sounds like there is a parking garage you walk into, and then there is a guy who has a cinder block in front of him, and you say, 1 coffee, please. And then he says, what kind? And then he's a piece of shit about it. And then he just, like, pulls out a styrofoam cup, and it's the best thing you've ever had.
It's not far from that.
Yeah.
I would say that I would just add that he shines a flashlight in your eyes while that's going on.
Is the rest of the space empty because he's like bullying everybody out?
So the rest of the space is like studios, which I don't know like who, like photographers' studios. Who are these people? How are they affording the rent? There is a publisher. Again, what? Like, you must be an independently wealthy person. There is One Tale at a Time, which is a pet fostering organization. We saw a Block Club article that they are opening a new theater, and there was one of the funniest quotes I've ever read in this article, which is the person who was, opening this new theater, the person in charge of it who rented the space, is setting it all up. They had a quote that was something like, "This theater will address the frankly unbelievable lack of storefront theaters in this area." And I'm like, buddy, there's nothing I can believe more easily than the lack of storefront theaters in this area. The unbelievable lack. Try a little harder to believe it. I think you can do it. I believe in you. Anyway, so the other thing is that the cornerstone of the Kimball Arts Center is Orkanoi Brewing, which is a brew pub that makes their own beer, and they also have dinner. And it is the head brewer is the brother of the head coffee guy at Dayglow, and they sort of are 2 of a pair. In fact, above the exit of the 606, they have a big fucking billboard on the side of the art center saying "coffee and beer here," and so people get off the 606 to have a coffee and beer. Like, Dayglow is fucking popular. It's got a line all the time. The day we were gonna move, I saw a Block Club article saying Orkanoi Brewing closes forever. So that's just gone. You can't get
that
beer there.
rules. I didn't know what Foxtrot was. I guess there was a series of bougie coffee shops / grocers on the north side, and there was one in the West Loop, I guess, but they closed suddenly because the finances were such that we are $200 million in the hole. Turns out,
it was a fake company.
We weren't counting the money right. A lot of people were upset about that because I guess it was very popular. See, the big thing in my neighborhood is it's not even that big of an improvement, but I like it, is that there's a Mr. Greeks in Greektown. Greektown, if you're not familiar with Chicago, is a block. It is very small. The Walgreens has 24 hours in Greek. It's like, oh, I'm learning. I'm learning the language.
You told me when there was one time I was gonna drive past there, and you told me like the vibes are so bad, and I'm like, the vibes will be fine. The vibes were so bad.
Yes, and anyway, there's this place called Mr. Greeks, which is it's a Chicago fry joint like anything else, but obviously with a Greek guy did it. Okay, so there's more of a focus on that. Well, they opened one on Taylor Street, which is like not even far away from it, but it is closer to me, and it gets here so fast.
It's pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
I've been not. This is the most painful shit because like where I'm at is nearby so many good places to eat. Like it's crazy how many places. Like I could go to a different place for lunch and dinner that I'm really interested in every day for like 2 weeks with no repeats, and then I'd want to do it all over again. But here's the thing. Because we have like a mortgage now, and like we can decide to pay a little bit extra, and like when we do that, like that money,
God likes you more.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, like we need to like actually figure out like how much more we can pay a month, so that because like every dollar you pay extra is like that's in 10 years that's like $100 of interest you didn't have to pay, and it's like, oh fuck, that's good.
But that could be burgers, like, so it's fucking rough.
So I'm doing a budget this month, and so like I have our incomes for the month, and I'm noting down every purchase. And I don't know if you know this about moving and in fact home ownership, but the first month you just gotta buy shit constantly. Always with the buying of shit. It never ends. And so I have like an incredibly inflated number of purchases I have had to make, such that like my expenditures this month versus my net income is like negative $900. So I like cannot justify any frivolous spending. So I have been eating like home cooking only, and I'm just like, oh, I want to go to this restaurant. I can't because of money. I hate it.
I don't know. I would just like maybe dig up some gold,
Some gold would be so good. Actually, I almost did dig up gold. So when I was moving, I found a bunch of savings bonds from when I was a baby. Savings bonds are a big fucking joke that the government did to trick you. Because
was your first introduction to the concept of savings bonds the episode of Doug? Because it was for me.
My first contact, I think, of first.
It's probably when you got it as a baby.
Yes.
Actually, that's a stupid question.
It's when I saw. It's okay. So I first sort of like realized what they were during COVID, like right when like the height of the lockdown, and was like, oh shit, this is like money. This is like money from before. And I'm like, I got to cash these fuckers in. So I like endorsed them. I wrote my address on the back. I went to the bank. Well, here's the thing. My bank is Alliant Credit Union, which is almost exclusively online. So I'm just like, they have to cash these in anywhere, right? So I go to the closest physical bank. I'm like, cash these in, please. And they said, like, we'll kill you. No, we will not cash these in. And I'm like, oh, I kind of figured you would. And then I did more research. And turns out, this is why I say savings bonds are a joke.
They could kill you, right? Like they were allowed to.
Yes, they were. So the whole point of savings bonds is you get them when you're a baby, and then 30 years later, they're worth more. And then you cash them in, and what a great thing you've done. You gave the government sort of a loan, and they paid you back with interest. Everyone wins. Well, turns out that the plan all along was for, during those 30 years, the government's like, hey, every bank, just stop fucking, like, don't let that shit happen. So now there's something like $30 billion of savings loans that are just, like, gone. Like, that money is like poof, because it will never be cashed in. The American people just gave the government a huge loan that the government will never pay back. The only way to get your savings bonds cashed in is you have to send a letter to the Treasury.
Not happening. If I have to write a fucking letter, it's effectively not real.
And here's how fucked up it is, Joe. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just do it. I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to write the letter. Jesus Christ. I printed out a form. I filled out the form. It says, please include a copy of your ID. So I had to scan my ID and print it out. This is ridiculous what I'm doing. I had to write down all the serial numbers of all the bonds. And I'm like, but it's worth it because I'm going to get some money. Oh, I got to do it. And then I remembered, oh, shit. I wrote my old address on the back in 2020. This is 2 apartments ago. Fuck. Like, this is wrong. So I had to go and purchase whiteout. I came back home from the store. I whited out the old address. I put the new one in. And then I'm like, perfect. Now all I need to do is put a stamp on the envelope and lick the envelope and then send it on its way. And I know I have stamps because I bought 20 stamps about a month and a half ago so that I could send one letter. And then I put them in my drawer. And I look at my drawer. Brother, the stamps are gone. We lost the stamps in the move. So I had to buy more stamps. Like, this is like the story of my life.
Did you go to the post office holding, like, the letter? Like, hello? Can you give me one of these?
No, I ordered them because I didn't want to fucking drive again. And so I just ordered them on the internet, and I'm waiting for them to come in the mail, which who knows when that's going to be. It's just insane. You know what sucks? Is it's buying things. Having to pay for things. I hate it.
Speaking of buying things, there's this high-end high chair company that I can't remember, but Winnie and I were looking at it, and because one of Winnie's friends has it. Yeah. And the like part of the copy is like it grows with your kid. It'll eventually just be an adult chair, and it's just
like a standing desk.
Why not just make it a coffin then? Like, do the whole thing. I just didn't. There's something about like the forever aspect of it that really like made me feel grim.
I can't speak to this with any authority as a non-parent, but like the trend towards more and more like extremely high-end luxurious baby products is, to me, like what are we doing here? Like,
I mean, the point is to basically split consumption vectors, where you have like people who can spend a bunch of money on kids and have them, and then the other vector is no. And that will continue to widen forever. I'm really getting the sense.
Yeah.
I'm not... this is not a full-throated endorsement of that situation, let me be clear. But yeah, I just... like, here's a really good example. Like, the most popular... or I don't want to say most popular, but definitely a must-have. Kids just universally seem to love it. Is this French giraffe named Sophie? And it's French because it's a French company. It's not like the giraffe is depicted to be.
Doesn't have a baguette.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. But it's just like a rubber giraffe. It's $26.
No!
Yeah.
I know. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so just thinking scale, dude. It's like, we think like spending $26 once, but every baby gets a giraffe. And like I don't know what it is about the giraffe, but it has powers. It has calmed kids down that when nothing else works. I don't get it.
I mean, I know of this giraffe. I'm picturing it in my head, and I'm feeling calmer. It's just been like this. Oh, what a good giraffe! I bet I would bite this. It would feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife and we do not want kids, and but when you and Winnie announced like, oh, we're having a baby, I was like, oh shit. Like Joe is also an idiot. All my friends who have had babies are like richer and smarter than me, but like Joe and me are both morons. So like we had to like actually like for the first time in years be like discuss it again. Like, is that still true? Yeah. But also, it wouldn't even matter if it wasn't still true. It's moot now, especially because I'm fucking doing a budget. I'm just looking at how much extra money we have per month. Some months, none. Like the month where we have to pay movers. And I'm just like, oh, this shit's impossible. Like literally, you couldn't do it. Like it is amazing. I don't know if anyone's pointed it out before, but it feels like the common man can't get ahead in today's America.
Like, I kind of get why Japanese people didn't fucking have kids. Like, that math didn't work out for a lot of people. I get it.
Yeah.
And then the guy who said, please do it, well, he got hit by the scout gun. So
yeah. He got hit by the one that lets you triple jump. What was that one called? It was like sawed off even more so.
It wasn't the name, but that's a good name.
Oh, god damn.
So Tom, you've recently it's tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah. Joe's got to do chores for the baby sometimes.
Yeah, I have to rake leaves for him. But Tom was complaining, as he often does, but he articulated something that was bothering me that I had not found the words for, and I will get.
It's a classic Sickos thing. People say this about this is what makes your podcast so good. These things that everyone in capitalism feels, but you don't know what the word for it is, and we give it the word. I did it again. What I'm saying is we haven't lost the touch.
Yeah, in this case, it wasn't to the audience. It was just sicko to sicko. It happened, but Tom basically has a very good point about the game Balatro, which is a very popular deck building roguelike that I, to be clear, enjoy. I think it's actually a very well designed game. I saw how it was coded as just like one big if then. That fucking rules. People are saying that's bad. No, that's good. That's Excel mindset.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm bouncing off of it at times, and I don't know what it is because like everything on paper here is Joe catnip.
Yeah.
But you said correctly that the issue here is when you play cards, something has to take damage. And that's not happening.
The thing about Balatro, I think about all deck building roguelike video games, is that you soon realize that the actual game is the shop. Like that is like the whole point of the game. The way you win is you have to get a good build. You have to build your deck good. And the way you build your deck good is when you get offered shit to put in your deck. Like, this is the decision that matters. It's like, are you going to pick the good thing or not? And then the actual game, like the round where you use the deck that you've built, that sort of plays itself eventually. Once you're good enough and you have done it enough times, it becomes sort of muscle memory. And then the part where you have to like sit up and pay attention is the shop. So basically what that means is that in Balatro, I turn it on and it's like, do you want to click on 3 7s? I'm like, not really. Yeah, that's not fun. Like, do you want to click on 2 to 5 cards and maybe discard some cards and hope you draw the one you like? And I'm like, nah.
A goblin doesn't die.
In Slay the Spire, yeah, like the rounds play themselves, but like you get to use like Whirlwind against a big crowd of goblins, and they all die at once. They scream when they die. They go, ah!
To compare, again, I don't think it's a fair comparison, but in Slay the Spire, there's a bit of a joy of like just accurately dishing out your numbers as efficiently as possible to kill everything. You're like, yes, yes, yes. In Balatro, you just drop your big hand and make money happen. Like that's the move always.
Yeah, and like in Slay the Spire, you sort of know like what enemies are in the pool for this part of the game, but like it's always like it's you never know exactly what you're gonna need to do. In Balatro, you always know exactly what you're gonna need to do. Click on the fucking ace and get a high number. And just like the fun part of the game is like picking the kooky jokers and having a kooky build.
Yes, and the minute for me, you have a kooky build. Once you lose kooky momentum because you did the ultimate gamer's mistake, which I also make in Slay the Spire, I refuse to look at what the boss is. I will never move my head 3 inches to the right to understand what I should be preparing for, but I do it. And the minute I lose kooky momentum, I'm just like, yeah, fucking whatever. Now this is Harvest Moon Year 4. Like, I'm over it.
It's just, yeah.
Something needs to die.
Something needs to die. There need to be different attacks. Like in Slay the Spire, the enemies have different attacks. You have to kind of think about, like, what do I need to do? In fucking, like, I just, I like Balatro. I played it for many hours. You cannot deny it is a good game. It does suck people in. It has made a ton of money. It's objectively good. However, when I like boot it up and I'm like, what a kooky joker. I love that. I can't wait to use it. And then I click on the next round and it's like, fuck, I gotta get a fucking flush. Like, I guess. Like, these cards just have numbers on them. Like, they're not cool. The cards aren't called Glass Knife. The cards aren't called Noxious Cloud. The card is like 8.
The cards aren't called Sexy Ice Shark. Like, they aren't.
Yes, the shark from Monster Train. You know what? Balatro really, this... It's all fucking karmic justice from us sleeping on Monster Train. We never should have stopped calling hell our home, because it is. Man,
it's got a train. It's got a fucking train. It's a slam dunk. It's about infrastructure.
When the shark gets hit, it puts ice on the guy for free. It's not even your turn.
And generally speaking, you have ways to keep that fucker alive, so he keeps on smooching with his cold kisses all the way to the end. This is a perfect segue to the other issue that you brought up about Balatro.
No sharks.
I've not played on the higher difficulties because I literally lose interest. I'm like, I become a golden retriever like 3/4 of the way in. But it's just... Games are big on ascension levels now, and for good reason.
Yeah.
But it's like a fine line to walk, because sometimes it just feels like the game is then tuned to, like, I'm going to make you hold these turds as you play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Slay the Spire, I think, is like a nice example where it's obviously very difficult, but nothing feels like an unbearable cognitive load.
Yeah, there's like no one... Well, there are a few. It's rare that there's like one specific ascension level where like the thing that changed is like backbreaking. I think the ones that sort of buck that trend are when elites and bosses do more damage per attack. But I mean, otherwise it's just like the shop's a little bit more expensive, and it's like you don't notice that like when you go into the shop. It's not like you have sticker shock. It's just like normally you'd be able to buy.
I literally write the old price on my whiteboard, and I freak out.
Okay, well, most people don't do that. It used to be in Balatro that, like, I think at the highest stake, I don't remember, this might be orange or gold stake. I don't remember the specifics, but I do know for sure that part of it is that local thunk comes to your house and cuts your hands off, which makes it really hard to play the game. But he changed. I do know I haven't played since the patch because of the reasons I've said, because like I start to actually do the gameplay of clicking on a 9, and I'm just like, I don't want to click on a 9. Uh, and I know that now the highest ascension level, the thing it does is it like makes some jokers have a sticker on them that makes them poof after 5 antes. So like if you find the perfect joker that you need, it might not stick around. Oh, what are you gonna do? Ooh, you have to work with this. And like, which like, okay, that's like a interesting decision, and it's
that's
not
a nice
just
churn mechanic that keeps you from like being able to just steamroll.
Yeah, from just being meta and being optimal. Previously, I know the real thing that it was that like the cost of a booster pack like went up by $1 every round. So basically, like you can
that's
buy
like the game.
Yes,
though.
yes. Like it was.
Why would they make it harder to play the game on hard?
Yeah, one of the only things you can do to mitigate the randomness of the game, buy booster packs and pick the one that's most good for you. You can't do that anymore. You just can't. Yeah, that's like you have to hold, like you can't click because you have to hold the shit. It's not fun. You know what else sucks? Is that it's really windy lately.
It's windy. It's also very hot. We're gonna have a fire tornado probably.
I got these tomatoes from the Tomato Man because I'm excited. When we got this condo, the big thing was I'm gonna grow tomatoes on the roof. Oh boy, could we have a roof deck? Oh boy, I can't wait. Now I'm like, maybe we can't grow tomatoes on the roof because it's 70-mile-per-hour fucking gusts of wind all day, every day for like the last 2 weeks. Literally, the patio furniture is in different spots in the morning than it was in night. And I'm just like, oh, you can't put a tomato out here. And also, one of the tomato plants I got from the guy is like already dead. Like it came dead.
I have had nothing but amazing Tomato Man experiences. We did not get the drop this year on account of having a kid, and we forgot. I also am scaling back my patio growing because I learned a lot last year. The survivor situation was not worth the effort. But the Tomato Man is this guy in Chicago. How it works is you're like, hey, Tomato Man, I went to your website. Here's my credit card info, probably in clear text. And he's like, hell yeah. And then he gives you an address, and a child shows up and gives you a box of your tomatoes, and you're like, "How? Do you go to school?" And they're like, "Don't tell anyone I was here."
Yeah, I mean, I have good experience. 4 out of the 5 tomato plants I got are doing great, and the 5th one is 1/3 of their size, and every single leaf on it is crispy and falling off. So I'm just like, I don't feel like that one's doing so good. I mean, like, it's impossible to have every single one be like 100% guaranteed to thrive. It's not like I'm mad. I'm mad, but just at life. At like, this sucks. Also, I realize I especially need to buy a bunch of rocks to put at the bottom of the pots because with the wind, the pot is going to tip over. So they need to be very bottom heavy, which means another trip and another purchase. Again, that's the thing. People tell you that buying a home is nothing but trips and purchases. But like, you got to
buy rocks too.
Yeah. You never know how true that is until you do it. And I've been doing it. I've been I went to fucking Target today and I made so many fucking purchases. It's insane.
I really hate the way I just felt myself morph into, I had a lifetime of just hearing people being like, can't go into Target without like spending, $200. Like since I've been like 10 years old, like I've been hearing like some version of that. And then like all of a sudden, like I look down and like, it's my skin.
Yeah. Yes.
And I hate it. I hate it.
You're looking at the guy who said it, and you're like, I hate that guy. And then you turn to the mirror, and it's you. You were saying it all along. It's like, it's not even fun things. It's not like, oh boy, a toy. Oh boy, a video game. Oh boy, treats. It's like a bath mat for the second bathroom. Like bedding for the guest bed so that my in-laws can visit. Oh shit, I gotta tell you about this. So the roof vexes me because the the furniture
the 300 miles per hour.
Yeah, furniture moves. I'm scared that I will put the tomatoes out and they will immediately have their stalks snapped in half by a killer wind. But also, Lucy, my cat, like learned that there's outside out there, and like we're cooked. Like it's over for us. She wants to go outside so fucking bad. There's one time
she's gonna get hit by an errant breeze the second she leaves the doorway and will be flung.
Yes, she will be gone. It'll be like she'll be shot into the air like those vultures that never flap their wings. They just like are on the currents and like are in the air indefinitely. That'll be her, except she's not doing it on purpose. I was hanging out with some homies on the roof. I wish my homie Joe could have been here.
This is again, see the second car conversation. Yep. Like this is they should build a train between our houses. I'm gonna ask,
yeah, dude,
a West Side pastor if maybe they can help with that effort.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of West. This doesn't count. But okay. So I was hanging out with some homies on the roof, and we see the door open and Lucy like walk out because Lucy is used to an apartment where the knobs are round, and she sees us use the knobs, and so she hangs off them to no avail. Now the knobs are levers, so she jumps on the knob, and she opens the fucking door. So in
a Raptor situation, you'd be fucked too.
Yes, exactly. So we have to deadbolt the lock every time we go out onto the roof, and this is especially fun. I was telling this to my brother, and he's like, oh, come on. What's going to happen? You really telling me that Lucy is so smart that she can open the door by herself, but she's too stupid not to kill herself? And I'm like, yes, exactly. Like, yes,
that's exactly where cats are. There's like that valley IQ-wise, and that's where most house cats live.
Like every single time Lucy has been in a new place, she has attempted to make a jump, which I know with my human brain is impossible, but I'm like, she needs to know it for herself. She eats shit in the most hilarious way imaginable. The go-to example is I had 2 apartments ago, there was a built-in, and it had glass doors in front of the shelves, you know? And so Lucy's on top of the fridge, and she sees an open shelf, and she's like, I'm going to jump there. And I'm thinking to myself, there's glass in the way. She's not going to understand if I say that, so let's just see what happens. And she jumps as fast as she can, accordions up into a little, like, hamburger patty, and falls on her fucking ass right on the ground, and looks so embarrassed, and she never attempted that again. So here's what would happen. She would try, like, I'm going to jump up on the fucking wall, the exterior wall of the house, and I'm going to do it really fast. I'm not going to break. What's going to happen? She's going to fucking fall off.
I'm going to do a wall jump. I'm going to wall jump off of the exterior wall.
Do your cats ever do wall jumps, like in life?
No, they climb a lot of stairs, so I think they just don't have the love for verticality.
Lucy uses wall jump as a sort of like a drift. You know, it's for turning. She's running and she's at full tilt, and then she needs to make a 90-degree turn. She will just jump fully at the wall, land with all 4 feet on the wall, and jump going the other way. And she will make a perfect 90-degree turn, having lost no momentum. It's really like high-level tech, honestly. This is a speedrun strat. I mean, literally, she's running at a high speed, and that was her strategy for doing it.
Roman tried to hunt some ants. It was a draw. He's just like a Muppet, man. Like he's a little guy that is. I don't understand how he would ever hunt something on the outside.
So I know that it's like the truth that outdoor cats are like ecological nightmares for the local ecosystem. Like I know that.
Yeah. There's songbird genociders, among other things. Yes.
But every indoor cat I've ever seen, like Roman and Ariel and Lucy, is like, again, like you incompetent fucking bitch. Like Lucy was. There's a fly got in the other day. because the door was open because I was putting together the patio umbrella that we got that's gonna get flown into the sky like Mary Poppins in 2 seconds, no doubt. And so Fly got into the house, and Lucy like found the fly, and her strategy was to just sort of gently bat it against the windowsill, look at it, and be like, "Huh."
Yes, that's exactly how Roman approached any bug. I saw Ariel. I wouldn't call it hunt, but was in conflict with the millipede. But like, well, what was happening is like she would like, I don't know, like slap at it, kind of like bully it a little bit, and then she would just like zone out.
Yes.
And then it would move closer, and she would freak out.
Yes.
And then she would loop again. And at no point was any like real damage ever done to the creature. So, like I said, I don't want them to go outside. They're too dumb to go outside.
Yeah.
But they need school.
Like, they don't know about killing. How does a cat not know about killing? That move that Ariel was doing, that is like classic idiot cat move, where they're like in conflict with a bug or some type of vermin, and they'll just decide like, the thing I need to do now is like turn my head and be like, "You seeing this shit?" And when I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and delete all of my memory on where this thing was. So like, as far as I know, there never was a bug. And so like, there's two outcomes. One, they never fucking find that bug again. That bug escapes and you have to deal with it. Or two, they look back and, as you say, they see the bug and are like, "A bug!" And like, they lose. They take damage. You're the cat.
They jump and hit the wall. Yeah. The other thing Ariel does now is she's a big cat that likes... She's not a big cat. Let me rephrase that. She's a cat that's big on fetch. She likes to play fetch, which is fun, but like, she still kind of sucks at it. The thing she plays fetch with specifically and wants me to throw all the time are like these sort of like cotton... No, they're not cotton, but they're like these puff balls that came with a very stupid like toy plastic revolver. It was like a gun you shoot puffballs, and it goes all of like 4 feet.
Okay.
She hates the gun, but we have 100 of these things, and she demands that they're tossed. She brings them back 100 times, leaves them as gifts for all of them. But we had to bust out the couch because when he was sick, the pull-out couch, and dude, there was like 1,000 puffballs. Like, she was stashing them in there.
When you have a cat, having a cat becomes the mover's delight. I experienced this because every single time they lift up any piece of furniture, there's like 1,000 cat toys that have like a pound of dust integrated. Like, that dust is never coming off. Like, it's not dust.
No, you have to burn it.
Yes. Like, it was truly nonsense how many little forgotten cat toys there were that Lucy had batted under whatever piece of furniture, never to be seen again. And I imagine she's loading up this place as we speak.
She's got a little more space. You can really cram more doodads everywhere.
Yeah. I had the Murphy bed out today because I had to make sure.
Because it's funny. It's inherently funny.
No, because my in-laws are visiting in a month and a half, and they're going to stay in the Murphy bed, and I needed to measure, like, what type of mattress. Is this a full or a queen, so that I could get bedding for it. And when I brought that mattress down, Lucy was like, "Oh, finally, a bed for me." And she just, like, plopped there and wouldn't, like, it was so funny, because, like, she loves getting petted. She loves us, touching us, being close to us, snuggling with us. She's obsessed with it. In fact, like, when she wakes up and we're not in the room with her, she like gets scared and starts crying. Like, she needs to be close to us. When she was on this bed, I could not get my hand within like 3 inches of her. She would go like, "Meow," and like whap at me because she was like, "You can't have my fucking bed. Like, the bed's mine now." It was very funny.
It's hers. Hope your in-laws like getting attacked.
Yeah, so I closed her up in the wall. That's where she lives now. "Hey, Lucy, I see you're poking out." What if that was true? She could be in the wall. She'd be in fucking Hoggy heaven.
What was that line in Always Sunny? I think a cat got in through one of the seams in your wall.
Oh yeah, and it's like that's not physically possible. And it's like, do you think cats obey like the laws of what is possible? Like clearly, you've never had a cat.
And I believe that was another great example of the idiot was right.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god! You know what? The Tomato Man is the greatest mensch who ever lived, and I love the Tomato Man because literally before we started recording this, I sent him an email about what I just complained about, and again, literally now in real time, he's responded and gave me a full refund for the dead plant. Oh, that's good.
All right, we have no issues with the Tomato Man.
Yeah. Tomato Man is the best guy of all time. I love Tomato Man. Also, they're like $9 a plant. It's not like it's killing me. Although, yes, it is. Everything, my whole life is purchases. It'll never end.
It won't. Shall we wrap it up? I have my son coming home soon.
That guy's so
dad
cool.
And lad. He's so fun. He is the auto laugh from him. The thing that will make him just be like instant giggle is like you just make like bubble.
Oh my god
noises, and he just fucking loses his mind.
I'm gonna become the John Coltrane of Bips and Bops over here. Oh my god, I need to see the boy and make him laugh.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I need to do this. I need to do this for him.
He would lose his mind.
There we go. That's a good one. There we go. I got it. It takes a few tries to get the perfect drop, but once I get it, it's like, oh, and it sounds like a cartoon drop from a cartoon faucet into a bucket. Yeah, we're done. Did you like this? This was just us talking. This was like literally, what if we turn the microphone on and then like go?
The issue being we have other stuff that requires too much spin up. We were like, yeah, this is all good stuff. This is all sort of like big picture-esque ideas.
Yeah.
But there's like a episode. We have to talk now.
Yeah, and it's like I could like. I'm not trying to say.
So here's what he's trying to say. I know what he's trying to say. If this was good, which it was, tell Tom that.
Yeah.
And then if it wasn't, don't tell Tom that, and we'll just delete the episode and just feel shame forever. Is that?
Yeah, it's pretty much. And also, if you have Pimpy and Bape, don't inbreed them. Just don't. If you have those dogs, like, I don't know.
I mean, what do you mean? Don't inbreed them more?
Yeah, well,
like,
okay. What I should say is don't make them have further sex with members of their families. My god. Okay. Pimpy and Bape are in the family that sucks and fucks. All right, that's all the time we have for Anime Sickos.
3 Bapes sucking, fucking. I've been Joe in Anime Sickos.
Bye. See you. Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at ShariaUncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.